How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. My name is Brandon. We have a special guest with us, and he can say his name and what he does.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mike Matteson, and play a lot of different kinds of music. We're going to be talking about that today.
Awesome. So my first question, Mike, how did you just start getting out into music? Like, what was some of the main things that you wanted to do just starting out music? What was like kind of like the quintessential moment of like, I want to do music like in a bigger capacity, and just how did that start pretty much?
Well, that started, I think, before my memory started working, really. Yeah, I just always remember listening to Eric Clapton CDs that my parents had and other things. I was actually really into Bon Jovi as a kid.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Not anymore, but yeah, really like it. I remember we had a house where it wasn't a busy road, but there were cars going by, and one of my favorite things was I would stand out on the driveway and I would wave at passing cars and say, "Hi, I'm Eric Clapton." It's a little bit of that, and then just everything. When I started playing all the instruments that I play today, which is just guitar, bass, and drums, I was in the classic rock. I wanted to be Jimmy Page. I wanted to be David Gilmour. On drums, I wanted to be John Bonham, Keith Moon. So that's really where I was.
So you're saying that like classic rock has definitely defined, why you wanted to do music and like why you ultimately started doing that. So like, when did you start playing every instrument, like bass and drums and guitar? Like when were you like, okay, like if you started out with the first instrument, when we were like, okay, let me take on another instrument and then another instrument, how did that thought process go along?
Well, I can't remember how old I was, but my parents got me an acoustic guitar one Christmas.
Okay.
And then I came home in, I guess it was third grade, when the band program came around and they said, "Hey, we can get you playing the violin and all this stuff." And I came home and I told my mom I wanted to play the cello. She said, "I got a better idea. Let's get you guitar lessons." So I started taking guitar lessons at the beginning of fourth grade. And it was pretty much the same thing with the drums. Like, we had the drum set, and then that I wasn't using. And I think it was about the middle of fifth grade when my mom signed me up for drum lessons. And then I became a bassist when I bought a bass.
Nice. Is your basically is your family very musically inclined to the point where you like wanted to start doing music, or was it just something that you're just like that your parents are like, okay, you should definitely try to do something, because I know for my parents were like, you should do this or you should do that, and then like I ultimately started picking up guitar because I love playing guitar. So I'm just curious if it was like a family thing that they like, I wouldn't say forced you to do, but just kind of was like, okay, you should do this, or was it something like of your own sort of recollection where you're like, okay, I want to do music stuff?
Well, I certainly wasn't opposed to playing the guitar instead of the cello. Yeah, that was something that I wanted to do, but something that my parents strongly encouraged.
Okay.
My parents don't play any instruments, but music is in the greater family. Like my cousin Derek, he plays harmonica. He just self-taught.
Oh, sick. Okay.
How to play harmonica, and he does all kinds of blues stuff, and he's really good. And then if you go further out, there are people in my, I guess, second cousins who play piano real well, and they've gone to school for violin and all that stuff. I don't keep up with them too much, but I know they're really, really good.
Awesome. I'm just curious because it definitely, to me, sounded like you came from like a musical family, and that's definitely a cool sort of feeling. But my next question, Mike, what are some favorite venues in the local area that you like going to see shows at, or if you've played shows at?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is a place called Chaplin's.
Okay.
You're in New Jersey, so you've probably never been to Chaplin's.
No,
Maybe.
I have not. I don't think so.
All right. It's only about 15 minutes away from me. It's in Spring City, which is close to Phoenixville.
Okay.
And it's about a 120 cap room, and it's the local place. A lot of all the local bands around here from my high school and Phoenixville and all that, they all go to Chaplin's and open for some band or try to put a show together. And yeah, the owner there has been, well, he's not the owner, he's a part owner, Chris Cachula. He's been really encouraging with me. Like, I've known him since like fourth grade, and watching him build up Chaplin. So that's probably my favorite place. It sounds great, by the way. It started out as an old theater, like
Oh, cool.
back before sound systems. So it had to be really acoustically good sounding. So the
Yeah.
sound very. So it sounds terrific in there. So I guess that's my favorite. For some reason, I don't know why, I really like the Voltage Lounge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only played there twice, and the shows weren't that great, but I really like that stage, as narrow as it is.
Yeah.
And then the Century's always fun. I don't know if you ever heard of that in Philly.
It sounds familiar. I may have been to that one. I've been to a lot of like venues in Philly. I know Voltage is definitely one that I go to a lot, but Century, I don't know. The name sounds familiar, but I probably have not been there yet.
Yeah, it's a small bar in Gray's Ferry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to bring people out there because Gray's Ferry isn't really that close to anything, Like people aren't just going to walk by, hear music, and stop in. But I like it because you just kind of set up the amps and you can play real loud. It's really nice. His name's Jay. He's cool, and that's what I like to do. Just keep it loud and raw most of the time. And then I don't know if this really counts as a venue, but the last place I want to mention is Children's Plaza in Phoenixville.
Okay.
It's just an alley with a fountain in it and a couple of benches. But when I was in my first band, Electrified, we did blues rock covers. We would get hired by the borough of Phoenixville to do these things a bunch of Fridays every summer. And we'd just set up and we'd play and people would walk by, and we were really good for our age. And our guitarist was 2 years younger than I was, and he was playing like behind his head, like Stevie Ray or Jimi Hendrix. People would be like, "Oh, some blues band, they sound good." And then they'd look over and see the faces in the cars, and jaws drop. Love that. People come by, give us tips. Had a lot of fun there.
Awesome, Mike. My next question is, what are some of your musical influences?
Well, really everything. I think I heard a quote by Buddy Rich when he was asked the same sort of question, saying that it's not a defined thing. It's like everyone he's ever seen really influences him. And I'm definitely that way. I'll go to a show and I'll see some local band and I'll be like, they suck. And then they'll play like one song that'll have like cool drums in it. And I'll make a note to myself, like, do a song that like captures the thing that drummer is doing, and make my own thing on top of it. And I do that with like every band I ever see. But more conventionally, to answer the question, influences like all the blues guys, BB and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Buddy, all of them. But mostly right now, it's two things. In Los Angeles right now, there's a whole scene going on with garage rock, psychedelic music,
Okay.
and punk. It's led by, I guess you would say it's led by Ty Segall. Yeah, he's the biggest one, and he's tied into everything. Bands like Wand that do this insanely heavy combination of like heavy, noisy psych and really refined, euphoric psych. It's a tremendous combination. And then all the punk bands that are there, just to name a couple, all of them, Meat Bodies have been very inspirational for me.
Okay.
Seed of Them, Fuzz is my favorite band from there. Of course, Wands, the OCs. I rip off the OCs a lot. And then the other end of the spectrum is well, Chris Cornell, not in the LA
Yes.
thing,
Yes.
but pretty much everything he's ever touched, I've wanted to do that. But really heavy music, I get into a lot, like doom metal, drone metal, Sun, Windhand, Cough, Sleep, Monolord, Electric Wizard. Yeah, I get into some really heavy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely some of those names I could pick out and I was like, that's some heavy stuff. So that's cool. Love the variety. I think that definitely like shapes a musician for sure. And I always love hearing influences because there's some bands that like if I listen to your music or something like that, I'll be like, okay, I can pick that out or something along those lines. So for me, as somebody who does interviews and just is a music lover, I think it's cool to hear that sort of where you pull from, and you know, in certain parts of the songs, I'm like, okay, that's where you got that influence from. But my
Yeah.
next question, Mike, kind of a follow up to influences. Who have you been jamming recently?
Oh, well, actually, right before we did this, I was putting together my drum set from the gig that I played last week, and I was spinning Ty Segall live in San Francisco on the record player.
Nice. Okay.
That's courtesy of my friend Wolfgang. Shout out to Wolfgang for giving me that record for my birthday. And yesterday I listened to some cool music. I'm the sort of person, like, I'll wake up and listen to one thing, and then the next hour I'm listening to something totally different.
Yeah, yeah, I know that.
So, yeah, I went to sleep listening to Easy Love,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
it's probably not something that you've heard, but Easy Love is like, I guess you'd call it West Coast California heartbreak pop or something. I don't know. It's kind of singer-songwritery, but also like fun and cute, but also like got that heartbreak sort of stuff in it.
Okay. Okay.
And then earlier, I think I woke up listening to some, probably Wand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. Sick. All right. My next question, Mike. A fun question. If you could pick a song to cover, what song would it be?
Well, I do a lot of covers at my shows.
Okay.
A lot. I just like playing them. But a couple of covers that we already do. The last show we did, the Kinks' "You Really Got Me."
Ooh. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's always nice to throw in something that people really know, because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I know that, and then they move more, which is what I like. I also do this cool thing. I think it's cool. I take a song by the Horrors, not the Horrors from the UK, the Horrors from the US, from In the Red Records, and they did a song called "Chain Reaction," and I really wanted to cover it because it's just a high energy rock and roll song, but I had no idea what the lyrics were, so I just took the lyrics from "The Drag" by Ty Segall and put them on there, and now people have no idea what it is, but they dance. I've also been doing "Fire on the Mountain" by Wand.
Nice. Okay.
That one goes over pretty well. I've been doing some OC's covers. I'm not gonna say which ones, because it's possible that my friend might watch this and he's gonna come to my show tomorrow, and I wouldn't want to spoil the fun for him. And then I always like doing 20th Century Boy by T-Rex.
Nice.
We speed it up and put a lot of fuzz on it. Yeah, that's just for garage rock stuff. For everything else, I mean, I want to cover everything. I want to do Echoes by Pink Floyd. I want to cover Sun. I want to cover the world.
Anything. You just want to cover some sort of song,
Yeah.
any genre. I like that. I like that. Very versatile in that way that you're just like, let me just give me a song that sounds good, that's got some good energy to it, and I definitely cover it. So
Yeah. If it comes in my ears, it's most likely coming out my amp.
awesome. My next question, Mike. This is a very unconventional question, but favorite food to eat?
Ooh. That one caught me off guard. I like fruit.
Fruit.
Really like
Okay.
fruit.
Any specific fruit?
I guess grapes. You
Grapes.
just on them forever.
There you go. Love that answer. All right, next question, Mike. If you could pick somebody to collaborate with, who would it be?
Like a famous person,
It
or
could be anybody, famous, not famous, dead, alive, whatever.
well, I'll give you two. One, I'm already working on a bunch of stuff with my friend Noah. We're doing a punk thing. We're doing an acoustic thing. We're doing a hard rock fuzz type thing.
Sick.
Um, as far as famous people, I, probably Chris Cornell, rest in peace. Yeah.
That'd be sick. I mean, Chris Cornell, I feel like he's unlike, any other vocalist. Unfortunately, he passed away long before his time,
Wait.
but definitely that would be cool to hear him play, and especially considering the type of roots and musical styling that you have. I'd love to hear that combination. That'd be super sick. But my next question, Mike, I'm curious how you're going to answer this because you play a lot of instruments, but if there was one that you could be really proficient at that you don't know how to play, what would it be?
Ooh. Well, it might be easy to say keyboard because then I could add a lot of different
Sure.
parts to songs. Like the keyboard's really underrated. It's also overrated sometimes, but in a lot of stuff, it's really underrated if you have some good keys in there. But I'd probably pick the saxophone. I'm always
Ooh, nice
really
choice.
good at the saxophone.
That would be sick. I'd like to hear that kind of rock with some great saxophone. That'd be ridiculous. That'd be awesome. But
Oh yeah, blues and all that kind of real dirty stuff. Stooges use saxophone on some of their stuff. So
oh, that's true. That's true. That's true. But I mean, I'd love to hear just a modern kind of interpretation of that. That'd be definitely sick. But my next question, Mike, in your opinion, who puts on a great live show?
okay, well, I think the best live act I've ever seen is the Meat Bodies. I've
Ooh,
seen
okay.
them 3 times. Flew out to LA to see them with a couple of my friends. We kind of got snuck in on the guest list when they came to Philly. It was 21 plus. I wasn't 21 at the time, and my friends weren't 21 either. They still aren't, but they managed to sneak us in, so that was great. And then we went up to Brooklyn to see them. And yeah, they're great because they keep mixing it up. Like all their old material, they'll just do something with it that's different. They'll either jam on it for a long time, or they'll slow it down, or they'll speed it up. They keep it interesting. You can tell it's fun for them. It's fun for us trying to guess what's next. And then their execution is perfect on everything. So, Meat Bodies.
Awesome. My next question, Mike, if you could compile a dream tour, who would be on it?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I'd probably do everything myself, actually, just so I could. Yeah, just so I could have defined sets of
True.
each thing. Yeah, each show I'd probably pick a local opener. I'm really into that. Getting someone local to do whatever it is they do, and then probably do a rock and roll set, and then do a psych set, and then do a drone metal set, and then do a set of all covers.
There you go. That would be definitely interesting. And you'd probably be like spent after that show. I just see you
Yeah.
passed out on the floor or something, just like completely done.
Yeah, I'm out of shape. I gotta do some cardio or something before I can. But that's way off in the distance.
There you go. Well, it's a goal to hopefully achieve at some point,
Oh, I hope so. It's a dream of mine. It's my dream today, so.
It is. It is. Well, my next question, Mike, favorite TV show, favorite movie, of course.
Ooh. Favorite movie is probably a tie between This Is Spinal Tap and Forrest Gump.
Ooh, okay. Okay, both good trade choices.
Yeah. Favorite TV show? I don't know. I'm kind of a simple person. I like Seinfeld, but I've also been watching Fear the Walking Dead.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I just finished the second season. Third season's not on Hulu, but yeah, I don't know why, because I'm really not into horror movies and like that kind of, not like, it creeps me out. I have to watch it like in my room with the door closed, just in case while I'm watching it, zombies start happening. But somehow I find that show really entertaining.
Interesting, interesting. My next question, Mike, if you could have a desert island album, an album that you can only listen to for a month straight, what album would it be?
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. I mean, a month is a long time.
It is, yes.
I think I would have to go with a Wand record, either their first record, Ganglion Reef, or their second record, Gollum, because since they've come out and since I've found Wand for myself, those are probably the two records that I come back to most out of everything that I listen to.
Awesome, awesome. And lastly, Mike, tell them about you, where they can find you, of course, on social media, and anything coming up in the foreseeable future.
All right. So I'm on Facebook, just Mike Matteson, Facebook page. I actually, since I talked to you last time, I did add an Instagram.
There you go.
Handle is Mike_F_Matteson. That's Matteson. And that's all I'm on social media wise. Shows, I've got this Saturday at Fens in Westchester. It used to be called Venarios. It's the upstairs at the cafe. That's going to be cool. And then I think that's it for shows. Albums, the only thing that's definite right now is tomorrow, my EP, Chocolate Milk, which is all garage rock stuff, real fun, upbeat, is going to be streaming. And we ordered CDs. They'll be in for next Saturday. Beyond that, I've got this concept album, like a psychedelic alternative thing. It's all about like time and aging. And I've written everything. I've just got to find somebody who wants to put it out and record it, and get somebody who's better than I am at singing to sing it. And then pretty much the same thing for this fuzz rock album I'm doing with my friend Noah, and the space punk album I'm doing with my friend Noah, and the very short but very beautiful acoustic album that I'm going to be doing with my friend Noah, doing a just any kind of rock we feel like making album with my friend Wolfgang. Eventually I'm going to do a drone album with whoever wants to drone. I have all these other projects. I'm going to be doing an EP with my friend Johnny McKenna from the Polychromatics. It's just kind of, he comes to my house and then we write a song and record it on the spot. So that's a lot of fun. I have this other project that's not far along that I can really talk about it, but imagine if the White Stripes were like pop, I guess.
Interesting. Okay.
It's pop, but really heavy.
That's definitely interesting for me, because White Stripes, I love their music too. So it'd be interesting to hear that one. I'm excited to hear that one for sure.
Yeah, Jack White's the boss. I don't know why he won't come to Philly, but he's great.
I don't know either, but hopefully he does. Definitely check out Mike's stuff. He's got a lot on his plate, as you can just tell. He went well into that time limit, whatever. He went into a lot of stuff. He's got a lot on his plate, so definitely check his Facebook page and his Instagram for all the latest news relating to Mike. And definitely, if he has a YouTube channel, subscribe to that too. I'm sure he will have some sort of. He'll probably have some sorts of links that he'll send to me, and I will then infer that to all of you guys. So definitely go check out his stuff. If you enjoyed this interview, subscribe as well. Hit the thumbs up. It really does go a long way. And of course, thank you to Mike for coming on.
Thank you, Brandon, for having me. It was a pleasure.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.